You got a smile that makes the sun rise. You make it shine. But I can see that you don't realize, and that's what made me fall in love. 'Cause you've got style, the way your body keeps my heart beat sound. It's amazing all the time. You are the only thing I...
Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how to make this homemade pumpkin spice latte. Let me tell you guys, it tastes very similar to Starbucks, so you would actually be saving the $4 or $5 of what it would actually cost you to buy it at Starbucks. I already had most of the ingredients at home. The only thing I was missing was the pumpkin puree, but other than that, I already had everything. I'm pretty sure you guys have these ingredients at home as well, and it was super easy to make and it tastes delicious. So the first thing that we're going to be making is the pumpkin spice syrup. So for this, we're going to need 1.5 cup of water, 1.5 cup of sugar, 1/3 cup of pumpkin puree, 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon of cloves, and 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. So in a pan, you're going to pour the water and the sugar, and over medium heat, you're going to let this simmer, making sure that you stir it often so that the sugar can dissolve. After the sugar has dissolved, it's time to add all the spices. So we're going to add the 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, the 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon of cloves, 1/2 teaspoon of ginger, as well as the pumpkin puree. We're going to let this simmer for about 10 more minutes, and again making sure that we occasionally stir this so that nothing gets stuck to the bottom and everything is well mixed. While I wait for that to simmer, I'm going to get started on making the espresso. Now this recipe calls for 4 ounces of espresso, or you can also brew 4 ounces of coffee in the strong setting. It's whatever preference you prefer. Honestly, I like the espresso a little bit better just because the coffee flavor is a little bit more bold and intense. But if you do not like that type of coffee, then you can definitely just brew American coffee and it'll taste just as good. So by this time, the syrup is all finished, and what we're gonna do is strain the syrup through a strainer, or you can use a cheesecloth if you have one, but I didn't have one, so I used my strainer. I think using a cheesecloth will work better just so that the spices won't be like too chunky in the coffee, if you know what I mean. But after you do that, you just want to put it in an airtight container and put it in the fridge till it cools off. So now it's time to make the actual latte. So for this, you're going to need 2 tablespoons of the pumpkin spice syrup, 8 ounces of milk, 4 ounces of coffee or espresso, whipped cream, and this is totally optional, but you can add a little bit of pumpkin spice on top of the whipped cream. Now to get it tasting just like Starbucks, we're going to froth our milk. I'm putting my milk in a mason jar and closing it with a lid, and I'm going to just shake it for about 30 seconds. If you have a frother, even better, but I'm just using the mason jar because I do not have a frother. Now I'm going to heat up the milk for about a minute so it gets really warm. Now finally, the fun part, we get to assemble our latte. So at the bottom of your cup, you're going to pour the syrup, then you're going to top that off with coffee, then add your milk, and then this is totally optional, but you could top it off with whipped cream, and then you can dust a little bit of pumpkin spice right on top for the finishing touch. And there you have it, guys, your very own homemade pumpkin spice latte. Now, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe and hit that post notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thank you all so much for watching, guys, and stay tuned because next video will be my fall decorate with me. I love you guys, and I'll see you all next time.
You got a smile that makes the sun rise.